Proudly We Served is made possible with the support of First Bank Richmond, with 8 locations serving Wayne County. First Bank Richmond and you, doing great things together.
I'm Al Bledsoe, Veterans of Foreign War, Post 1108.
Hi, I'm Ron Chappell. I'm chaplain for Vietnam Veterans 777 here in the city of Richmond. And our guest,
Pete McDaniel, Wayne County Veteran Service Officer.
All right.
Well, here we start another episode, and we're glad to have Pete back.
Always.
Glad to be back, guys. Glad to be back.
Got the information that we need
always
to get
got
out there
it.
to
Man with the
veterans
answer.
Man with
a lot of things coming up this next month in November and December in the veteran community, and we'll talk about that later. But Pete, tell us what's going on with your place.
Oh, nothing much other than we are picking up the Military Family Relief Fund. We are getting a little bit more applications towards that line.
For active or retired? Or?
Well, it's for all.
Oh.
It started out a long time ago for the National Guard when they got deployed.
Okay.
They helped the families back home.
Okay.
Now that the activation rate is down, they've opened it up to all veterans. So what we got is it's up to $2,500. And that's it's like a veterans in need type deal. If say like wintertime comes along and your heat bills are high and you can't seem to get your heat bills paid and you're an honorably discharged veteran, you can apply to the state, and it comes from the license plates, the military license plates that everybody's eligible to purchase if you're a veteran.
Yeah, I got it.
All that extra money goes into this fund. Indiana set it up where now they're starting to utilize this money in ways that they call it the Military Family Relief Fund.
Okay, so I'm a veteran, and let's say that things get tight, and so I decide I need to look for some resource. So do I come to you?
You can come to my office, or you can get onto the Indiana.gov website, and just you'll see a little search window up there, and just type in MFRF for the Military Family Relief Fund, and it'll pop the page right up with the application.
Oh, my goodness.
And they will cover a lot of stuff. They cover car repairs, if you're behind on your rent, if you're a veteran that's possibly looking to get into a home that's been either homeless or couch surfing, or for whatever reason you've lost your place of residence, you need help with the rent and the deposit and getting the utilities turned on. They take a look at your income and what you've been doing with your money, and if you can show this, it's truly a hardship, and your transmission went out in your car, your engine blew up, or needed tires or something along that line, and it took your money for that month that you was going to utilize to pay these specific utility bills or mortgage payments or
medical
or rental.
And it's pretty quick too. And if I remember right, didn't Alan Paul, didn't he tell us that it's a matter of just a couple of days? It's not like a month process.
Well,
it happens pretty quick.
A couple of days pretty fast, but now that it's getting more, now that they're getting more applications, more people are becoming aware of it. The word's getting out there. The process has slowed down a little bit, and I haven't really seen much go past 2 weeks. Be honest with you, pretty much it's a fairly quick turnaround. And what that does, if say you are behind on your bills, you can let whoever know that, hey, I've got this grant I've applied for, and it might buy you a little bit of time. I've actually called landlords and various places to say, hey, we filled in this application for this veteran. He's eligible for this, and I don't give them a yes or a no, because once again it goes to the powers that be up the state. But long story short, we got a pretty good idea if something's going to go through or not. So
that's good.
And it buys them a little bit of time, and it helps them out. And it's pretty much up to $2,500 for any honorable discharge veteran. They had the specifics as far as wartime veteran. You had to be in during wartime, just in the timelines, and the state would give you that grant.
Are you seeing?
Well, is it like a You can only go one time,
Nope,
or can you go
they say up to $2,500, which means you can apply multiple times.
up to 25?
Say Al's car transmission went out, and it's going to cost him $1,100 to get fixed. He can apply. What they'll say is, hey, send us that bill from that transmission shop or that mechanic.
Okay.
And it has to be a reputable mechanic. It has to be somebody who has a business card
Right,
and
right.
something on letterhead that they can get an actual bill and an invoice, and they'll mail a check directly to them.
Yeah.
They'll call them up and say, hey, you got this guy's car. We're going to pay to fix it through this grant. This the price. They say, yep.
Are you getting a lot of new veterans register at your office? Are we seeing, I'm trying to get a barometer of the veterans in Wayne County. Are we growing veteran community? Somebody asked me at the thing we had the other day at the dealership, somebody asked me, in fact, it was Pat Cronin asked me about how many veterans, and I told him I thought maybe 15,000, 16,000.
Here in Wayne County?
No, not in Wayne County, in 5 counties. Is that an accurate figure?
Wayne County, we're right about 5,400.
54,
We fluctuate
that's what I
between
always
54,
thought, yeah.
56.
I didn't know we had that many.
And what you do, I've got the information in my office. I can access it for any county you want that will give you the veteran population. But long story short, the younger veterans, as we talked on this before, when we're young, we're twisted steel and sex appeal.
Yeah.
We're not coming in. We're not looking for this. We just get back and jump in ranks in the civilian world and start working and taking care of the wife and kids and doing our part, or the husbands and kids, whatever the case may be, and doing our thing. It's as we start aging that we start saying, hey,
Excuse me.
let me start utilizing these benefits. And there's some younger veterans that do utilize them. The educational benefits is the big one now. They've got the post 9/11 benefits.
Yeah.
There's the compensation side of it. They do a good job nowadays with filling out the paperwork for the veterans before they exit the military. When they're doing their checkouts, they'll actually let them sit down and talk to a VA rep. They'll write down any problem they've got, any injuries they've occurred, and normally that base or that state they'll file a claim for.
The one kid at the that I know that is just he's almost obsessed with it is the medical part of it. He's a veteran. He spent 2 years in, 3 years in, and they keep coming back. He makes too much money. I don't know whether that's a fair thing to do for veterans. Is it because?
So is he trying to get into the
medical system?
He's trying to get on the medical side of it.
Right. That just don't seem.
All veterans with the first 5 years they're out, they're entitled to VA benefits to the medical side of it.
Why did they exclude them over income though? Why would
they don't within that first 5 years. It's automatic.
Okay.
After that 5 years, then they get in. They say because the war's been going on so long, the VA has been hit with so many veterans getting in the system and doing it. They said, hey, look, if you don't have no service-connected injuries and you've got insurance and you're making over X amount of dollars, it's like a lot of stuff. They say you got to utilize your private care until you can't or they can't. And then we'll reevaluate. We'll relook at your application and see if, for hardship, we need to get you in. And I agree with you. I think that any veteran should be able to go to any VA facility, regardless.
So.
That's the way it used to be, but not no more.
It's like they're excluding the young veteran, and this guy's young. He's 30 maybe. They exclude someone because they're successful, and to me that just don't seem right.
Yeah.
Well, that's unfortunately that's reality.
Wow.
We're all used to sometimes things that
How's
things happen to good people, and it's just one of them things, and he'll work through it, and he'll get it worked out simply because he's a veteran, I'm sure.
Sure.
But the thing I always tell a lot of guys that come in there in that particular situation, there's so many different things that can get you into the VA medical system. As simple as a little bit of a hearing loss. If you file a claim on your hearing loss, if he's around a lot of small arms fire, that worked on a flight line, worked in a boiler room, was artillery. I mean, more than likely he's going to start getting some hearing loss. And when he does, just file the claim, get in the compensation side of it, and say, I've got this disability. It occurred while in service, and it was job related, and he's in the VA medical system regardless at that point. Even a 0% rating will put you in the system. and a 0% rating is no more than. It says the VA will come down and say I twisted my knee. I went to sick call. I went to seen the doctor while in. They documented it as a knee injury, this type of injury. 10 years later, since I've been out, this knee's starting to bother me again. I go to a doctor out here in the civilian world, and he says, yeah, more than likely the problem you're having right now is a result of that. Now, past that point, if I file a claim, then I go to the VA system, and they check the knee, and they say, well, yeah, you do have a little bit of pain going on, but your mobility in it is fine. Your range of motion is good. It's just we can see something's going on, but it's not to the point where it's going to affect you in getting a job or maintaining anything, so we're going to rate you at a 0%. And a 0% means that the VA acknowledges that an injury did occur. They say, yes, you did get injured in service, and the problem you're having right now is connected to that, but it's not to the point where it's creating you a disability. It's not stopping you from going on.
So he can't get any treatment at all?
Well, no, once he gets the 0%, and then he's in the VA medical system by that route because he has the 0%, and then he can, if the knee's bothering him, he can go and get it looked at every couple months, every 6 months.
He just ain't gonna get a disability check.
How is that?
Okay.
There's no compensation because it's a 0% rating.
How's the VA doing? How are we stacking up with the way claims are processed, and what do you hear from your vantage point? I mean, you probably hear a lot of that kind of stuff. But
I'll tell you, the problem right now is the appeal process. I talked for a fellow couple months ago, and long story short, I called IDVA in India to say, hey, where we at on Joe Smo, and they said we're at 2012 and he's 2013. So he's been waiting since 2013. They're still working on 2012, and when they get past 2012, they'll start working on him. So it's the appeal process is about a 5-year wait. The state is implementing, not the state, I'm sorry, the VA is implementing some different routes now to try to speed this process up, because now they farm out a lot of the VA claims. It used to be you filed a claim in Indiana, it went to the Indianapolis regional office. That's where your claim was sent and was decided. Now they have a national HUE that basically all VA claims throughout the United States are sent to. That means I get them, I send them to a faraway state, and they in return shove them through a computer system that says, let's look, Indiana has 150,000 pending claims, Alaska has 20,000. Alaska's got more time to get this done, or we'll get it done in a more timely manner. So that's what they're doing. They're basically farming stuff out. And veterans come into my office, they get confused because they get paperwork from Idaho, Nebraska, California, some of the states that, right. And I explained to them, well, not that Indianapolis is not going to see your stuff, because it ultimately ends back up in Indianapolis. Right. But it just means that what happens is a rater, somebody for the VA system in another state, which they all go to the same national training, they all do the same thing, is looking at your stuff to get it in and get it processed quicker, because he had 5 claims to do and the guy in Indianapolis had 10. So they're going to say, here, we're going to let you have it. We're paying you all the same. So
there was the little committee that we're on that we talk about things like that. And the last time that we had a meeting, the biggest thing that came up was pain management. Of what's being done with pain management. And it seemed like from what people were hearing, the pain management was a big part of it. Because if you're on any type of a opiate type medicine, you're going to have to go through that pain management thing to get verified that all of that stuff's going to happen.
That'd probably be all of us.
Well, the VA is trying to reduce the prescriptions of the pain meds, because a long time they've been treating the symptoms and not necessarily the problem or the disease.
Exactly.
And what they've done, they've got a lot of veterans in bad situations right now because they've been prescribing this stuff for 20 years. Yeah. And now they're coming around with the big push to say, all right, with the opioid addictions and everything that's going on across the United States, they're saying, look, we got to start getting this a handle on this. And I get it. I mean, it's a big problem. But there's certain ways you have to do stuff, and the VA follows a pretty strict protocol on trying to wean veterans off or get them down. They have a lot of alternative methods coming out now. They do acupuncture. They do all kinds of other pain management.
I did the acupuncture
stuff over there through the Dayton VA and other VA facilities to try to say, we're not just cutting you off this cold turkey. We got some alternatives here, and we're going to start trying them. And we're going to slowly start weaning you off this stuff.
Yeah.
Once again, they have the rules, and if a veteran violates the rules as far as the weaning them down, because I've had a couple in my office that says, you know what, they completely stopped me because I didn't do this. And the short and long of it is, you just got to kind of shrug your shoulders and say, well, we have to follow rules. It's just a simple rule of they're doing a step process to get you off of this. But if you start violating them rules, they take it away completely. Is the problem that I've seen.
Well, and you see things like that, and you hear things, you know, just like these mass murders that took place at the church on Sunday by an Air Force guy that was probably on medication before he got out of the service because he was dishonorably discharged. Somebody should have picked that up. And I'm just wondering if they was not medicating him while he was in the service, and maybe that was part of his problem. I mean, we'll never know.
Well, he had
but at the same time,
I would tend to say that you look at individuals like that, I think that is more of a character flaw. That individual.
He had a record of abuse.
Yeah, they're just bad people.
I
don't necessarily think his military service had anything to do with it. I don't think that anything within the VA, maybe not catching it, or within the military health system not catching it. Some people are just bad people, and they do bad things just because they want it.
Had he been deployed to him, man?
No, I don't think so.
I wouldn't think he was. He was, like I said,
I
I wouldn't specifically say. I haven't looked into the details on it. I've caught bits and pieces here and there. But once again, we don't want to hang this hat on the veteran status for that individual because I'm just not buying it. To be quite honest with you, he had the problem before military, he had the problem after military. It just sounds like he was just a bad person.
Wow.
Well,
guys like that, I just don't understand how they get. Well, the Air Force messed it up because they said they didn't report it, but I just don't understand how somebody can be that evil, and that's what it is. It's not just being bad; it's being an evil person.
Well, I've seen situations where guys have been deployed, and because of some of the things that they went through, they had these aberrant behaviors, you know, but the military medicated them, put them in therapy and all that. Now, all of them weren't necessarily successful. Some of them end up going to jail, and you know that. But hey, it is what it is on that, you know. The main thing is that we try to take care of our veterans.
Right.
You know,
once we identify it, then if we got a veteran that's a combat veteran, he's got some post-traumatic stress problems.
Right.
And veterans do things.
Dumb stuff.
Simply because a lot of them have very good reasons in their minds. And the problem starts when people on the outside don't pick up what's going on inside their mind to let them know, hey, let's try to get you some help, and let's try to get you back in line with everybody so you get feeling better so they can get living life and enjoying life the best they can.
Well, this opioid problem that we have, I mean, which is in the veteran community, it's just in our community, and it's hard to get rid of that because, you know, that's big money. You know, you're pushing the painkillers and all that other stuff that goes along with it. It's just, to me, it's just really getting, it's too far that I don't think we can ever get back.
I think the main thing, though, as far as the purpose of our program, is to advise or inform the veteran community that there is help out there. There's somebody here to help you. You know, you come to see Pete, and you know, he can steer you in the direction that you need to go.
We have all kinds of crisis lines within the VA system. A lot of veterans get to their primary care. They got social workers. They have therapists. It's best to utilize these if you feel like you're having problems.
And you can put them in touch with those kind of people. If they just call you, they can find out who they need to call and what they need to do and all that. See, that's
you can get upgraded too. Like if something happens, you have an operation or whatever, come and see you, right? And to get upgraded.
That's pretty much like I said. That's what the office does. That's what the Wayne County Veteran Services does. We offer so many different avenues for veterans to get help, to get health care, to get their educational benefits, to get the compensation claims completed, to get pension for the ones that have to go to a fixed care facility. There's just all kinds of stuff that goes on down there. And like I said, we not only service the veterans of Wayne County, we service the widows, we service the children. It's not just the Wayne County veterans that can come down there and get help. If you are a widow or a spouse of a veteran, you can. There's benefits out there for you as well that you can utilize.
Yeah, that's right.
So I mean, when you start adding it up, the numbers keep going up and up and up.
Get the kids in school, send the kids to school. And
there's a lot of benefits.
She can go to school on
and even for the Military Family Relief Fund that we was talking about, the widows are eligible for this based off of the veteran service.
All right.
If they're in, if you, I was in the club the other day, and there's a long list of guys that are in nursing homes. Does the VA take care of that kind of stuff, or how is all that?
That's where they
is
have
it,
that special.
Is it done through Social Security?
They have that special pension going on out there now. It's called the Aid and Attendance Program. And what it is, fixed care facilities are expensive. Most veterans are living off of Social Security and a pension on an average income, basically, for the state or the county. So it eats up every bit they have. So the VA comes down and says, look, we understand that it takes everything you live or you earn to live in this facility. So we'll give you a pension based off if he's married, if he's a single veteran. I mean, there's just a lot of stuff that can go on. He's got to be over 65, and they have this special program that he would more than likely qualify for.
Wow.
Like I said, a single veteran could get up to additional, and these are just guesstimates on the numbers. I see them range between $900 to $1,100, $1,200 if all of their income's being absorbed through their care. Married veterans get up between $1,700 to $2,000 right in that bracket.
Wow.
And that adds up over time.
Yeah.
Say if his veteran has to put his spouse, or the veteran goes to a nursing home, the one left at home, they can still apply for this and get it because they understand it. Somebody still has to maintain their home.
Are those big perimeters though, or are those pretty tight perimeters to get all that type of aid?
It's actually pretty open. To be honest with you, it's not hard to achieve. It's basically income based. So you look at if you have to take a grandparent or a father or mother, or the veteran himself has a spouse in there, either way, or a widow, you can just apply for it. And as long as you meet the income thresholds for the limits, you will qualify.
Wow. What if both of them are in the nursing home?
That's a pretty good.
I know a situation right now. It's both the veteran and his wife are there.
And I get them all the time. I actually have several. And they both qualify. We put down what it costs both of them to be there.
So if the perimeters are pretty wide, you could get a lot of guys that need help. Some of the elderly guys, I call them elderly, they're, the World War II guys.
You mean you guys?
Yeah. The guys that
thinking of Ron. He's thinking of you, Ron.
They're down and they go to the nursing home and stuff, and I've always wondered, because the list seems to be growing and growing of guys that are in a nursing home. And I've always wondered, how in the world does somebody take care of all that? Because that's, nursing homes are not cheap.
Correct.
And how they take care of all that. So I didn't realize that.
They apply for aid and attendance. Wow. And I would recommend to everybody, if you have an aging parent, grandparent, just get online and look at aid and attendance.
Okay. Well, listen, guys, I know we're running down on time. We want to mention the Veterans Christmas Banquet.
Yeah, the dinner. Goes on December 9th.
December 9th, yeah.
And that's out there at the Coleman Center, I do believe.
Center, yeah.
7 o'clock.
Yeah. Free.
It's free.
For all veterans to
That's
go.
affordable to me, free. I know, I attended since they started. So I think it's been about 2 years now they've been doing it. And it's gotten better each year.
Yeah, it's grown tremendously.
Awesome.
From
It'll really
the way
be
it's been
good this year, I think, if we keep pushing it. Yeah, I think that, it's a good.
It was a good turnout.
Yeah.
The girl started it in high school.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of grown in leaps and bounds.
Yeah. So we want all veterans to know that you're welcome to come. And
Yep, you can contact my office,
Yeah,
Wayne County
contact
Veterans,
me.
or
Yeah, give them your
VFW.
contact
Your
info.
phone number?
Yeah.
You can call down at 765-973-9207. It's there at the Wayne County Annex Building, or you can stop by the office.
Yeah, yeah. That's the
December-
building that looks like it's
The lower,
down
where you
into
pay your property taxes.
Yeah,
I'll tell you that.
Okay.
December the 9th at 7 o'clock at the Coolman Center.
Yes, yes.
That's it.
All right.
With that, we're going to sign off.
Yeah, well, thanks, and we'll see you guys next time here on Proudly We Serve.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Proudly We Served is made possible with the support of First Bank Richmond, with 8 locations serving Wayne County. First Bank Richmond and you, doing great things together.